Hi everyone, it's Rax bringing you my very first actual complete build guide for Diablo 4. Of course, I would love to make this build guide for you on Maxroll, but the Maxroll guides will be released on the 30th, so in 10 days. In the meantime, we'll use Diablo4builds.gg, a great site. I had a chance to talk with some of the developers the other day. They're nice guys, so no problem. We'll use this tool. And this is going to be a leveling guide for sorcerers. We're going to go through and put a leveling guide for each class, and then of course we'll talk about the endgame classes. The reason I wanted to start with sorcerer is for two reasons. The first reason is I think sorcerers are just going to absolutely destroy the game, and I think this build is going to crush it for you. And the second reason is I think sorcerer is going to be the most popular class. So we hit the most popular class, and we hit the build that I think is going to completely destroy here. And I'm going to show you some cool things that you can do a sorcerer. I'm actually excited to show this to you. So instead of showing you the full build, I'm going to take you through step by step and actually rebuild it with you. And then of course I'll link this for you so you don't have to take any notes. I'll just link you the full build here. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take Arc Lash as the generator. Arc Lash is just the best generator by far because it can hit an infinite number of enemies. It hits it in a little arc. It's just completely incredible. I hope that they don't nerf it. I guess I should say one caveat, hopefully they don't nerf all this by the time it comes out, but they actually already did nerf it, so I'm not expecting them to nerf it again. Still do the same thing. We still go Arc Lash. It's incredible, and later on we are going to pump this up. One note is this is going to be a lightning build, and one thing that I think is a huge debate while you're leveling is I think going for stuns and I think going for crackling energy leveling is a no-go. It's too hard to get this stuff to work, and the concessions that you have to make to get it to work I don't think are worth it. So we're going to go with a build that just kind of works no matter what, and I think it's going to destroy. Arc Lash is the best generator. It has huge coverage. The enhanced Arc Lash, if you crit, it swipes an additional time. That's fantastic. Okay, so out of all of the core skills, Ice Shards, and even though they nerfed it, Chain Lightning are the best too. But I mean, you still can't beat Chain Lightning even after it got nerfed. The thing is when it bounces back and forth between you and other enemies, it keeps doing 10% increased damage. This is invaluable. It still completely destroys even after the nerf. So we'll go Arc Lash and Chain Lightning here. Either of these enemies are possible, but once again, I think the stun thing is a huge debate, so we're just going to go for the movement speed on Arc Lash. Now here, we're taking Teleport and Frost Nova pretty much always. You do have a choice between Flame Shield and Ice Armor. I think Ice Armor is just better just because it lasts longer and it's going to give you some mana regeneration. From there, we're just going to make it real simple. We're just going to pump up our damage. Full Chain Lightning, and then after putting 1 point in Arc Lash, when you're level 15, you can go get your first enchantment slot. Now most people, I think, are going to go for Fireball. And Fireball is not bad, and Fireball is quite good. When you kill an enemy, it explodes, it does the damage of the Fireball. Okay, huge explosion. Here's the problem though. Here's the thinking here. Chain Lightning and Arc Lash already excel at clearing a whole room of enemies. That's literally what they're designed to do. I don't need help making more explosions, killing a room. What I need help with is killing bosses. That's why I take Chain Lightning. It automatically forms after you spend 100 mana, aka every 3 Chain Lightnings you throw, you get a free Chain Lightning. That's going to be better, I'm almost certain. And let's continue on with the build, and you're going to see some of the mechanics coming into play here. I think Fireball with this particular build is a little bit of a debate, and I wouldn't go for it. Okay, so we're still going to be pumping Arc Lash here. Now from here, we're going to grab all the bells and whistles for these 3 skills that we found. So Mystical Frost Nova is incredible. It automatically makes enemies vulnerable, and it makes bosses vulnerable for 6 seconds. You can understand the synergy here. You get to full mana, you freeze the boss, they're vulnerable for 6 seconds, you throw all your Chain Lightnings, then you get a free Chain Lightning, and they die. It's going to be amazing. Teleport, it gives you 30% damage reduction after you take the Shimmering, and this one here is going to reduce the cooldown if you jump into enemies. Ice Armor, we only need this one. It's going to help our mana regen. The more damage against vulnerable enemies, it has synergy with this, it gives you a higher barrier. Okay, I don't think we need it, and we don't need to freeze enemies. So I don't think that we need any of that. Okay, now from here, we're going to take this passive. This passive used to be the best, probably the best skill in the entire game for any class. They nerfed the shit out of it, but it's still good. So we'll put 1 point into it. Every second that you haven't gotten hit by an elite, you just start to build up damage resistance against the elite. And sorcerers are not supposed to sit there and just tank damage. So if they hit you one time, usually teleport away or frost nova them and get away, and then you can start building this up again. So this has tremendous value even though they nerfed it. Then from here we can take our ultimate. We're going to take the Zappy ultimate. Crackling energy is another thing that's with stunning. That's kind of a huge debate. Not even going to take this. Another thing is you need skills that generate crackling energy, and we don't really do that. You could change your whole build around stunning and crackling, but I think that's an end game thing only. So we'll take these two. From here, we're going to take protection. Whenever you get a cooldown, you're going to get a barrier. That could come in handy. We'll throw 1 point into it just to stay alive. And the reason why we're taking something defensive before is because now we're going to start picking up glass cannon. We do way more damage, but we take more damage. The risk versus the reward, but we get way more damage than we tank, so we have to go with this. Now it's level 30, and we are going to take the surprise of the century, Firebolt. Now, why in the world would we do this? We're not going to put Firebolt on our bars. We put 1 point into Firebolt, so we can put it as our second enchantment slot. Let's read this. Direct damage from skills applies 23% burning damage over 8 seconds. I'll give you a hint. We don't take this for the additional damage. What it means is anytime we deal direct damage, which is literally all of our skills, we apply burning. I don't care about how much damage the burning does. I just care that we apply burning. Now, in the tree, now we can take every single fire passive that we want that has to do with burning. And as you might have guessed, those passives are absolutely incredible. So now that everything is applying burning, now we can take Fiery Surge. Killing a burning enemy, which is literally all of them, increases your mana regeneration by 30%. Wow. I can't even tell you how many Chain Lightnings we're going to be throwing with that. From here, we're gonna finish off Glass Cannon, and now we get our ultimate. I'll be completely honest, this ultimate isn't that great. We got to get really close to them. They're going to take more damage, so you're just going to stand right next to them while you throw out Chain Lightning. But I think everything's just going to die anyway. You get up, you teleport in, you get full mana with Arc Lash, you Frost Nova them, and you throw a Chain Lightning, and they're going to die instantly. Coursing Currents is pretty incredible. Hitting enemies with shock skills increases your crit by 1 chance, and then it resets when you get a critical strike. It's just going to give you a lot of effective critical strike chance while you're playing. Then we're going to take Electrocution. Enemies deal 5% less damage for 5 seconds after being critically struck by your shock skills. This is going to be incredible for bosses, especially because this middle part, Chain Lightning gets 3% critical strike chance per bounce, and you're just going to be Chain Lightning the bosses all the time. It's going to give you a lot of defense. From here, Endless Pyre, and I think Warmth is probably going to be a passive that's very slept on. You get healing up to 1.8% per bosses for every nearby burning enemy. This is essentially your only source of healing on a sorcerer. You can crowd control them with Frost Nova. You can run away from them with Teleport. You can apply barriers from different things that we've taken. But what you can't really do is heal yourself. If you're out of potions, what are you going to do? This will save you. If you're out of everything and you don't have anything left, Warmth will let you run around the arena and survive. Survive to tell the tale, survive to get the boss to the next quarter HP so they drop potions so then you can do all of your tricky stuff again. So I think this passive is very, very slept on, and I think this is going to give you a way to get out of any situation. And that's a consistent theme you're going to see in my builds. I can't tell you how many planners I get linked on my stream every single day. Rax, check my build. Rax, check my build. I open it. They have no mobility skills, and they've taken absolutely no defense. The only thing that they did is they went through and they took 100% offense, and they said, what do you think of this? And the answer is, I don't like it. The quality of life is low, the defense is very low, and the mobility sucks. On all of these builds, I'm going to try to give you a healthy amount of all three so you can survive any situation. From here, we're going to take Inner Flames, which does absolutely nothing for us, but we take it so we can take Devouring Blaze. 30% critical strike damage against burning enemies. Now let's remind ourselves, who is burning? Oh yeah, everyone that we're fighting. So that Firebolt enchantment slot, unless they nerf it, is completely, it's just incredible. So Devastation, our mana is going up, that's fine, but we want Elemental Dominance. Our core skills deal more damage if casted above 50% mana. With some of the legendary powers that we have, it's going to give us, it's going to be a huge synergy there. From there, we're going to max out Coursing Currents. Now every time we hit, we get 3% higher critical strike chance. It's just going to make our build feel amazing, and it's going to increase our damage. We'll put 2 points into Mana Shield here for more damage reduction before finally maxing out Teleport. Now you can teleport to your heart's content now that your build is complete, and it's going to feel incredible. Okay, so that was me actually walking through it, and it should be a complete mirror image of this, what I'm going to link you. Now you might be asking yourself, what kind of legendary powers can you find here that will help you? In all of my build guides, all of them, I only consider legendary powers that you can go farm. If you don't know, there's a Codex of Power. Certain legendary powers are attached to specific dungeons. If you complete the dungeon, you can go to town at the Occultist and put the weakest form of that legendary power on a piece of your gear. And you can do it infinitely. So 1 dungeon clear equals an infinite amount of applications of this legendary power that you might want. If there is a power that does not come from the Codex of Power, aka you need luck to find it, I don't include it. So remember, if you watch my other video, you don't ever put aspects on your weapons. So I left these empty on purpose. But a really, really good one that you can get in the Dry Steppes, which is Act 3, is the Elementalist aspect. If you do Pelid Delve in Dry Steppes, core or mastery skills, core being Chain Lightning, cast at or above at 100 mana, so you throw it at full mana, get 20% times 1.5 because it's on an amulet, 30% increased critical strike chance. You get 30% crit chance on your Chain Lightning as long as you throw it at max mana. And unlike other classes where getting to max mana is so annoying, remember all those things that we took for mana generation? And it is not bad to be casting Arc Lash because Arc Lash does so much damage. So it's not a problem to get to 100, stand close, because remember you need to stand close to activate your Capstone passive here, and then throw. By the way, this is taken on most classes. Then we have Edge Masters, which you can get in Act 2. So you get this very early. Go to Old Stones. Skills are going to do 10% increased damage based upon your primary resource when cast. So this just gives you a free 10% more damage. You get more damage from the ultimate. You get 10% damage from your ring, and then you get 30% crit from your amulet. I mean, your Chain Lightning, and then you have the crit passive, and then Chain Lightning naturally it builds in more crit in the enhanced node. It's literally going to shred for you. Another really nice one is this is in Act 1. You can do this in the very first act. Go clear this dungeon. Zenith. Every time Chain Lightning bounces off of you, you get 4 mana. And this is mostly going to help you on bosses. Throw a Chain Lightning and just get a bunch of mana back. Throw a Chain Lightning. Remember, throw it at 100 mana. It's going to be incredible. The last pretty good one is the Expectant. Whenever you attack with a basic skill, your next core skill can do up to 30% damage. Big synergy. Arc Lash to 100. We get the 30% here. We get the 30 crit here. You get it. We talked about it a bunch of times. Then there are some defensive ones here that you can get, and also you can get 20% movement speed after teleporting in Act 3 as well from Dry Steppes. So that is my Sorcerer guide. I am 99.9% sure, unless the day 1 patch comes in and completely bricks everything that I've shown you here, like for example, I don't know, the Firebolt giving a 100% chance to burn, I am quite certain this build is going to destroy leveling. I think the quality of life is going to be super good. And one question that people may have is, why didn't I take Hydra? Well, Hydra used to be the GOAT, but they nerfed the living crap out of it. Hydra is still okay, but it's mostly used as a support skill to apply burning from like an endgame, like firewall build, for example. I am telling you, I'm almost certain that this build is going to feel way better to level up with. And then, of course, you can respec out of it and go full fire with the Hydra where it may come back again. But with the colossal nerf to Hydra, it's out, and with the medium nerf to Chain Lightning, I still think it's potentially the best leveling skill still in the game. Anyway, that's my leveling guide, guys. I'll put this link down below, and when we switch to the Maxroll guide, I'll swap it there. It should be around the 30th. And this is my first full build guide for the launch of Diablo 4. I would love to hear your feedback on it. What did you think about it? I will read the comments. What can I do better to help explain to you exactly what I'm thinking? But these are leveling guides just to 50. Then we'll cover the endgame guides about how you're going to crush the game, crush the nightmare dungeons, get all the way to level 100, and show everybody who's boss in the PvP zone. Thank you.